touch. If you don't have strong glutes, your hip is going to get weak. So you're going to end up doing this. It gets weak. You have no power. So it's building the glutes. We got to build your glutes. People, you guys take your shoulders for granted, but you need it. So even if your hips are good, if you don't have the external rotation to open you up, to get that club high enough and to swing through, and look, that this one needs it too. You're going to struggle. You're not struggle, but it's just going to recession. That means when you go back, look, you need that rotation. You can't get there, so something is physically going to be impinged. So when you go back, you're going to automatically stop, even if your hips are legit. So even if your hips are legit, that's just understanding how to internally rotate. We got to work on external rotations, airplanes, understanding how to go into internal or external. Here, the hip you're getting a good job getting the hip through. You see that? Right? But you're losing your trunk.
Okay.
So the ball is doing this. Your body is doing this, opposed to getting a true follow through. You're not getting a true follow through with your pelvis. You're doing a good job, but you're losing your trunk at the top. At the top of the follow. Okay, there you go. That's better. Okay, you see what you did before? You had your arms way out there.
Exactly.
Well, not that. That's exaggerating. Okay. And I'm wondering, what happens if you had a slight knee bend, just to get a little bit more hip? What does that feel? Would that throw you off?
Nope, doesn't throw me off at all.
Okay, so you know that if you get a slight bend, you're going to use a little bit more hips.
Gotcha. Okay.
You follow me? You're too straight leg. Good. Just for the record. Hey, listen, when this is over, I'll come out and watch you and just show you and give you my biomechanical assessment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I don't want it to be diaphragmatic. I don't want it to be kind of squeezing. I want it to be rib cage and pelvis. So you can kind of breathe through the movement. Do you understand? It's not muscular. It becomes muscular at the effect of it. But it's skeletal. Don't focus on the mistake. Let's just keep focused on the solution. Yes. Do you see how fast that club went through? You have to get your core activated. So what we did today, we had to open it up. We had to get the rust like a Coca-Cola bottle cap. We had to get the rust out of the hips, right? So we went into rotations. We went into fire hydrants, which means it turned on your internal rotators. We turned on the muscles that actually you need to work in order to go into internal rotation. We then went from hip rotation to trunk rotation because the hip has to be independent, right? So that's mobility. So we did all mobility work with activation, meaning we turned on muscles that need. Then the fourth thing we started to work on is your core, because you can't get to your hips. You can't get to your hips unless your core is activated, because the pelvic is what takes the core with it. The hips take your core along for the ride. Right? But if the core is not even attached to the hips because they're not activated, then you have nothing. So then after we activated your hips through embracing and things of that nature, having you focus on embracing, and then we had you focus on the hips. And then the arms just became a pendulum, because then everything went for the ride. The trunk went for the ride, the arms went for the ride, and the club went for the ride. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, let's do it again. Again, keep your embracing, and then focus on your hips and let the arms just go. Let your hips do, there you go, boom. Got it?
Got it.